welcome back to the Devlog from a Dark Fantasy game, and with the core game logic mostly wrapped up, it's time to shift gears. It's time to move on something more exciting, something more appealing, something more visual, if you know what I mean. So from now on, updates will focus a lot more on visual improvements, world building, and an actual game content. The most juicy stuff, okay? So first up, the atmosphere. Quite literally, just the atmosphere. And sorry, I've implemented a new weather and sky system using Ultra Dynamic Sky plugin. Yes, plugin, but trust me, it's worth my time. I'm not creating weather from scratch. And I think it's just one of the best weather plugins actually. Not even just, I think it's just one of the best plugins actually. So, and what it does, it brings dynamic ray, snow, clouds, and lighting to the game, and it also can interact with gameplay. So, for example, player footsteps, player everything, and dropped weapons or severed body parts now also respond to the weather conditions, so like puddles or snow itself, right? It even supports the custom weather events, so I can also create a custom, let's say, raining blood. And here, for example, a side-by-side comparison of a level before and after the sky system. I think the difference speaks for itself, right? And the next feature I'm especially proud of for this devlog is a custom spline-based level content generator or mesh placer, whatever you call it. This is almost very close to my animation system. It's quite complex, it's very optimized, and most importantly, it built from the ground up, okay? So at first glance, it's just a tool to create walls, but whatever. No, it's way more versatile as you think. It can generate ceilings if you rotate it, or change the mesh, of course. You can generate floors, you can generate ladders, stairs. You can make it not just buildings. Let's just say we can generate fences, we can generate columns with it, we can place something else, whatever, you name it. And it's not an real PCG spline tool. This is very important. It's a custom built construction script using instant static mesh components, very similar to what I did before, but the thing before was very limited, and it was just working in one direction. And this is what I didn't like, is that I couldn't rotate it, I couldn't move it, and yeah, so this also means that it's super high optimized. And the modularity is very important here. This is what my previous wall sheet didn't allow me to do. So I can draw a spline, I can choose meshes from the database, and I can control height, I can randomize mesh placement, I can randomize the meshes itself, and not only that, I can also add support for secondary meshes, like decorative supportive meshes or whatever, just variations basically. And it's how it works is that the main mesh has some specific variations for the what can placed on it, right? So we can choose if I want to variation 1 or mesh 2 or mesh 3, or I can add them all together or change them. Basically, this is what it is. And the most important and most interesting part is it can even project, shoot a trace, and auto-connect to the visible floor or landscape beneath it. And this is, like, in my opinion, one of the coolest thing about it. And but it's still a work in progress. There are some bugs there and there, but I'm honestly really happy with where it's heading. And I really wanted to shout out the Ghislain Gerardot. If you're interested in something similar, though his thing is a little bit more limited, as I just inspired from it, you can access it by this tutorial. it's not really a tutorial as well, but you can understand how it works and you can do it yourself, right? So yeah, big shout out to Gisle and Gerardot. He's doing very cool and real stuff. UI, let's talk about UI. I think interesting here, there's just a little bit slight visuals working on the UI, just interface. The player interface just got a little bit enhanced. Here is the process, but there is also a now functional quick access menu, which allows you to equip specific consumables in your quick access, and you can scroll for them in the game, and then you can use what you have selected, and it will actually work. Once you use everything, it will of course disappear and equip, blah blah blah. Equipment got bug fixed heavily. Now equipment is super working. It's now properly works. You can equip something if it have the data inside it. It means it will update your stat by this amount, it will work, and most importantly, it will update your visuals of the player. So for example, if you equip pants, you will actually equip pants. Some 3D models I've been working on, it's untextured, but you can also see a sneak peek of the textures, how it's going to be in the world. Also, player movement now properly snaps to the grip-based direction, which means that before, if you were offset from your axis that you're moving on, you'd never be able to come back to it and rotate again, as it's soft locked, right? So now the player is now being slightly tied to the axis he is on, being constantly magnetized back. This allows me to create a lot of more possibilities for level design that I was before not able to work on. So now I can create something that will force the player to move around something intentionally. And I think it's very cool. Last but not least, Firefly Companion. Do you remember this seal? This is a firefly and it can explode. It looks super cool. Well, now it can signal you to the closest camera rotation. I wanted to say location, so rotation location. New signal camera rotation opportunity. This means that if you either don't have a firefly or it's dead, you won't be able to see where you can rotate. It means it doesn't mean you can't, it just means you won't be able to see. And I think it's a very cool addition, and it goes very well with the lore of the game. And of course, new enemy as well in the works. I will leave it for the next devlog, okay? And that's it for this update. From here now on, you'll be seeing a little bit more world content and polishing, visual improvements, because now I can actually build on top what I've created, and maybe lore. I don't really want to spoil you the lore, but you might see something that is important to the lore, and I will do that. And yeah, thank you. I'm very excited to show you where this strange dark world that I built inside my head or on the paper is heading to. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment if you've got any questions or ideas. Make sure to let me know. Subscribe if you want to follow this project as it comes to life. You can also check my Steam page, which is super unfinished, but it exists for now. I'm not touching it for now while I don't have the demo. Once I have a demo, you will see a major update to the Steam page as well. So thank you very much. See you on the next one. Bye bye.